Good evening. Welcome to Speed Gaming. We've got the resumption of our Challenge Cup Round 1 matchup about to happen here. You remember them from last night. We got WindFox. We got Sharky. I'm William in Texas doing commentary once again. As you may recall, last night Sharky took Game 1 of this best-of-3 series, so this will be a must-win for WindFox. And I'm going to send them on their way. And we will have some Mario free action in just a moment. What world do you think we're going to start with? That's the big question. Personally, I'm going to say World 4. I feel like it starts with 4 a lot. We'll run through these flags as a reminder. We are only playing 7 worlds in Round 1 of the Challenge Cup. The Randomizer will randomly remove one of the 7 first worlds. Always play normal World 8. World order is randomized, levels are randomized, enemies are randomized, forts, airships, Koopalings, hit points on Boom Booms and Koopalings. If that all sounds like a lot, there is some relief for these guys. We also, and here we go, World 2. Also start with 3 power-ups. Also, Gatekeeper on Sharky's side. Piranha Fort on WindFox's side. There's really nothing good here, and Piranha Fort is going to be hard required. Sharky risking a potential extra fort here. Also, as you see, they start with 10 lives instead of the usual 5. Also, in the event of game overs, you don't lose progress. WindFox getting the score. Sharky grabbing a power-up. WindFox basically halfway through the first room. Next mushroom. Can Sharky get the 1 cycle? Let's find out. Gets some damage. Just misses that 1 cycle, unfortunately. Fox for the 2J jump. Sharky getting the star kill on Boom Boom. That is the quickest way to get it done. And it breaks a lock that's not required. He played Gatekeeper for nothing. Not a great start. WindFox in the lead. Now just run through. He will do that. Sharky taking a death. Throwing on a power-up. Never a bad idea going into a fort. WindFox through Piranha Fort. And we'll see how many levels this pipe skips. It skips everything. Only question is, does he play the bro? He does play the bro. The hammer bro, which will give him a star. Shout out Tazzle. And he is going to play Secret Bro. 2 Fire Bros. Slightly different arena, otherwise it's the vanilla Secret Bro. But just appealing, we don't have warp whistles here. Sharky in the second room. No damage on his side. WindFox in the World 5 airship with fire. That's the P-speed. Sharky gonna be into the pipe momentarily. We get Iggy. And we get damage. And a 2-hitter. Sharky gonna go for the bro fight, and this one's gonna just duck below, and that's the easiest star Sharky's ever gonna get. There are 4 lights, says the king to WindFox. You sure there aren't 5? Each gives a frog, and World 7 up next. And we get a pipe beta level up next. With an angry sun. A lot of enemies, a lot of potential for lag. WindFox going to use the shell to kill the sun. Sharky gets the 2 hits nice and clean on Iggy. Going to be into World 7 just as soon as we get past this king screen. We do skip the one cutscene. And WindFox going to take our first pipe check of the evening. Straight to the Promised Land. And the bad news, though, there is a lock and a bridge out, so at least 2 forts that will be required. And it's the triple forter. We see 2 fortresses on the first screen. So this is the triple forter. WindFox in Alaska. If he should happen to find a hammer, he can break a lock with that. The only way to build a bridge, though, is the old-fashioned way, by beating its corresponding fort. Sharky taking no chances with the sun. Jumps into the pile driver, though. Up to go again. WindFox out of Alaska, which did absolutely nothing. It did not break the lock or build the bridge that we see. It broke the lock on the other screen. Does give him a straight shot to the next fort, which is going to be the army, the super tank. The real tank if you're playing vanilla. Maybe you'll see the fake one a little bit later. Sharky making it through the pipe level this time. And WindFox getting boom boom. Sharky can play the fort that's in front of him. So they'll both have played Alaska. Makes perfect sense to play the fort in front of you. We see the bridge is built. Now we just have to find our way to the top middle island that has the other fort. That's not it. That's the dead end. The room with the view. WindFox finds the way there, has to play the piranha level. With the bass. Sharky having to make another visit to Alaska. WindFox with a cloud. Sharky will end up getting this too, most likely, given that this is required, and I don't think either of them has a box. And the sauna for WindFox. With the tail, the P-speed isn't quite as straightforward. See if he chooses the damage boost or go for flutter strats. Looks like it's flutter strats. Sharky into the boom boom fight on the other side. Does not run into the boo. Sharky seeing the bad news. Sharky, I believe, just went into one of the correct pipes right away. Yes, he gets to the block breaker. WindFox going to work his way back to the Promised Land, where there's just another piranha level in between him and the airship. Sharky having a heck of a time there. Makes it through, though. WindFox takes both damage boosts. Sharky into the sauna with the tail. WindFox with a hammer. Where was that a few minutes ago? We're throwing the P-wing for the airship, which is going to be, I think this is World 6. Flies over the mast with that P-wing. Does not fly up to the first class area. Well, not the first class area. The above first class area. The flight deck, we'll call it. One of the airships where the P-wing's more useful. World 2 is also a really great spot for a P-wing, as is World 1, World 5. Early P-wings can be useful when you have a lot of runway on the ground to can see you're running fast. If you're flying through the air, you're not doing that very fast. But it is usually the safer way to go. Sharky still trying to find the way to that third fort that is required. That's the Bowser letter. We won't know until he checks the inventory. And we got World 3. We got a pretty long one. One of our underwater levels. I'm gonna guess it's 3-6. I don't actually remember. A lot of damage on WindFox's side. Sharky looks happy to get that hammer. Electro gonna get WindFox. Oh, well, no, that's a hammer that WindFox doesn't have. Excuse me. He found the bro and fought the bro, and it had a hammer, so Sharky is gonna end up a hammer. Which is gonna be massive, because I believe double hammer is gonna be useful here in World 3. WindFox tries to get the power up, takes damage. This gets big again. If you're small, a fire flower just turns you big. You don't get fire. Not quite as generous as Super Mario World that way. Sharky into the tank and into the Boom Boom fight. Three hits, 4 hits. And I'll do it for Sharky. That's all 3 forts cleared. So Sharky going to play the Piranha that has the other hammer and then be on his way. As you see here, double hammer skips at least 3 levels if you decide to go that route. That said, with hammers breaking locks, there may be better uses for hammers. We'll see how Sharky decides to play it. We also have not seen Ice World yet, which is the other world where breaking a rock is potentially very useful. One up for WindFox. No first class for Sharky. It's the pyramid level for Wind. Sharky in the Morton fight. Sharky getting through the Morton fight. WindFox through the pyramid level. See what Sharky does here. Gonna play this level. I believe both players do have a cloud. We get 6-1 for WindFox, potentially saving that for a nastier level rather than a blind cloud play. Sharky does have fire. That makes those bloopers a lot easier to deal with. Gets cheap, though. Sharky with some electro problems of his own. And we have an invalid seed, as they used to say. Bowser's Bathtub, 3F2. Right world, just not quite in the right place. As Sharky used the hammers. Yes, he does. He's going to double hammer. He's going to be into the same fortress. That Bowser item, by the way, was a star in the Bowser letter. Hits on this Boom Boom. 5 hits. Boom Boom going the distance. And Sharky had the frog suit on. A very lucky use of his one power-up to get the underwater fortress and have the frog suit, the human mustard special. And it looks like that fort was the answer to the Wendy Island. May or may not be Wendy. We do randomize the Koopalings. WindFox doesn't quite get the flutter over everything. And Sharky going for the pipe check as well. Not going to play that coin ship, it looks like. And so we'll never know what was in that coin ship. Maybe that was another hammer. WindFox grabs the wand, and WindFox now has a hammer that Sharky does not. Sharky within a level at the moment. We'll see if that hammer comes in handy. There's going to be a leaf there, and we got World 1. And we get 5-2. Fox getting through the top route, no problem. Don't get the one of each, though. GF. And Sharky getting the third star. That'll be a 5-up. Does cost you a few seconds. On these flags, there are not often spots where you need to go get the 5-up just because we don't lose progress on game overs. The only risk is if you played the Twisty Castle in 5, you have to play that again since it's a pipe transition. And any clouds would effectively be wasted if you clouded anything, but nobody in any danger of a game over here. WindFox beating the fort. 2-2 for WindFox. Sharky right behind. He'll swim for WindFox. So at this point, we've seen worlds 1, 2, 3, and 7. Which one do you think is going to get left out? We have 4, 5, and 6 left. We're going to see 2 of those worlds. One of them is going to get left out. Who's the odd one out? If you want a jet seed, you're hoping World 6 is left out, probably. If you want a longer one, maybe we don't have World 4. Fox getting the flight in 1-6. Sharky's still within a level. This is still anyone's race. I will say advantage WindFox, though, just because of that extra hammer. Why is the world left out? Because on our Challenge Cup Week 1 settings, we only play 7 worlds per seed. We randomly remove one of the worlds, or the randomizer does. And World 2 airship for WindFox. And we got the Smart Bullet Bills. That's another newer feature. We can randomize those. Gets the tail, but no P-speed, so no flight there. And we get Lemmy. Damage for WindFox. Just a 2-hitter. Very manageable. When we get to round 2, we do go to 8 worlds once again. Sharky getting a slightly quicker kill on Lemmy. And WindFox with a music box and gets a pipe. And see how much we got to play here. Not much. We got one fight beta. There's a blue fort. There's also the blue lock. Blue fort breaks the blue lock if it's 2 forts in World 5. If it's a triple forter, anything is possible. So also another situation where the hammer is not going to be useful, since the hammer is only going to save you 1 level. WindFox taking the death, which is going to put Sharky in the lead. You get basic fort for WindFox. WindFox gonna fly up. WindFox gonna try and get this item. No, he's not. He's gonna go through the spiky room. Now, this is not a required fort in the sense of the bridge or the lock. This is a required fort in the sense of it's in the way. And WindFox used the cloud there. So Sharky, I believe, up a cloud. WindFox up a hammer. Sharky doesn't quite get the flight either. Not going to bother with the item. We're fairly far into the seed here. WindFox is going to use the hammer. So no hammers for anybody right now. We may live to regret that in World 8. We can have locks on Bowser's Valley now. In fact, just earlier today, I played a practice seed where if only I hadn't wasted a hammer in a previous world, I would have had a free World 8. Instead, I had a very long World 8. Sharky gonna fight the bros. What's this bro item? And it's a cloud. WindFox beating Roy. WindFox back to the lead. Sharky in the Navy, that was the fort that we didn't see played, the blue fort. And the Peach Letter also has a cloud. And our last world's going to be World 4, which means that we're not going to see Ice Worlds. And Sharky going to go into the airship here. Delita wondering why Sharky didn't just go to the castle, because there was a lock in his way. The blue fort broke the lock, and Sharky doesn't have any more hammers. He double hammered World 3. So he had to play the blue fort to break the blue lock. WindFox did it slightly differently. WindFox had a hammer, used it to break the blue lock, which only saves the 1 blue fort, but also sort of committed himself to that when he clouded the level that was in front of the fort. So a different routing decision, and Sharky's sitting here with a couple of extra clouds. And that fort was the answer. See how many levels we have to play to get there. Oh, we gotta play some stuff. 1-1. Fire enemies. Careful there. WindFox caught himself. And WindFox is going to fight this bro. Don't have a hammer, this becomes more okay. This late in the seed. Otherwise, you're not playing it as often. And Fort Knox for WindFox. Good news is, he's already got the tail. No need to worry about intentional deaths. He's going to lose the P-Speed before he gets up there. He'll have to get the P-Speed again. No having to go into the other room, no having to take an intentional death. Just fly up there, get to boom boom. I wonder if Sharky ends up playing this or if he ends up clouding. There's no guarantee that you're going to get to use all those clouds in World 8. So this would be the time to use some clouds. WindFox getting 4-1. Sharky in 1-1. Taking some damage. It'd be a problem if he ends up in Fort Knox. He doesn't have that tail. Sharky through 1-1. WindFox through 4-1. App is a fort and a level, and Sharky seeing Fort Knox. Oh, if only he still had that tail. He is going to go the slow way, which is going to be the get the P-switch, and then go into the Tanuki room and wait for the P-switch to run out, and then we'll see. 4-2 on WindFox's side. Sharky comes out the pipe. Will now run back across the room and fly up to the pipe. Time loss, I think, is something like 15 to 20 seconds over just having the tail like WindFox was lucky enough to have. WindFox's tournament life on the line here. This is game 2. We played game 1 last night, and they decided to reschedule the rest of it. WindFox trying to force a game 3. WindFox paying Toad a visit. Gets a leaf. Sharky losing the Tanuki suit. 4-3 airship for WindFox. Our last airship of the seed. Now will Sharky throw in a cloud? He's got 3 clouds. Let's use a cloud. He does. And it's a Wendy fight for WindFox. E-Wing goes on for Sharky. 2-hit Wendy. That's good news. Sharky flying over the mast. Not going to be able to run a bit. Sharky beats Wendy. Flies up and grabs the wands. We skip the cutscene. No off-screen wand grabs or anything. WindFox does blind cloud that first level. Great cloud. He never has to go back there. And can also go through a pipe to save his progress. Didn't quite catch how many locks there were there. How many obstacles do you think? Okay, so that is 1 lock on the handbridge area, so 1 less potential obstacle for Bowser. Sharky playing the level, it is 4-2. Don't recall if he had any clouds left. I feel like he had a cloud left. That probably was the spot to use the cloud. Dark area, we see another lock right away. 3 stars for Sharky. We got a Sky Beta for WindFox. And looking for the power-up. I think the inventory is getting pretty bare. Takes the death to the Fire Snake. Sharky going through the elbow. Sees he has no hammer. Same death. Sharky gonna gamble big time. Gonna cloud that level. An unfortunate cloud use because he may have to go back there, number 1. Number 2, this level's actually pretty quick. This is just keep running and don't die like WindFox just did. Yeah, Sharky still has 2 clouds. I'm surprised that Sharky didn't blind cloud that first level. There's definitely more than one way to wrap this game. And the fort breaks the lock that's behind the level he just clouded. So Sharky's gonna play the level. It's 5-9! He basically committed himself to this direction, and it's 5-9! Routing is not going Sharky's way at the moment. We've only accounted for one other lock. We see the right side's a dead end, so this is potentially less bad. WindFox in the same fortress, though. In the World 3 fortress. WindFox wants to maybe swap this power-up out, but just gets a 1-up mushroom. WindFox hanging on to the frog suit. Sharky has fully ascended at this point. WindFox shakes the frog suit off. And there's a pipe for Sharky. Hopefully this goes somewhere useful. Goes to the valley. There's a bridge out and a lock. And so that sky bait is going to effectively be required. He's going to have to go back there. Donut Fort. And WindFox in. I think this is 6-2. I may be wrong on that. Sharky does at least have the knowledge that this was the real tank and the other one's a fake. So if he can avoid playing it, that would be a good thing. It builds the bridge. Now, if only he had a hammer. If only he had a hammer. And WindFox chooses the tank and finds out that it's a fake. Takes the intentional death. If you have the choice between the tank and something else that pulls you in, like the Navy tile, I strongly advise not the tank. This is because if you go on to the other one, if you go on to something that pulls you in, like Navy or Air Force, or the other tank for that matter, the fake one will disappear. WindFox onto the handbridge area, escalator fort, which I'm guessing is going to be our answer here. I think we've accounted for the other forts. It's going to be the answer to break the lock, at least. Effectively the answer, because once you find the valley, we know the bridge builder is right there. It's the real tank. Sharky. Gonna go up to 23 lives. You can never have too many lives. Sharky gonna go straight to Navy. Gets Troll Fort. You know what? I don't know that WindFox has found the valley yet, so maybe Troll Fort is gonna be the bridge builder. No, I believe it is the fort that WindFox just completed because that lock is still there. If I'm not mistaken, WindFox has played 3 forts now. Or he's played 2 forts. He's played 2 forts, and also there's one that we already know what it does. So I believe that broke the Bowser lock. Sharky's going into the fake tank for some reason. Sharky, you already played the tank. WindFox into 5-9, the ascent. This is where Sharky needs to just go back to the valley and see if he found the answer. The answer is no. It was, in fact, the fort on the air bridge that is going to be the answer. Sharky's playing another level! Sharky has to get back to the handbridge and play the fort. Only a fort is going to break that lock. He sees it. He sees Air Force. Right now, I think WindFox is in the driver's seat. WindFox is very soon going to get to the valley and going to play the real tank. And then going to win. If he can execute. Sharky making his way through Troll Fort. WindFox finishing up Escalator Fort. I have those backwards, don't I? WindFox into Bowser's Castle at 34-34. Sharky's played all the forts at this point, so it will be open. WindFox now small. This isn't over yet. Can't get the every person clip because he's small. Gonna have to go down, gonna have to go up again. Sharky's in there. Doesn't have any power-ups left apart from that star, which will at least spare him from any kind of damage in the statue room. WindFox going for the clip. One try, goes into the statue room. Sharky can make up a little time on these stairs. WindFox got to get these clean jumps. He takes damage. He's got to do the Bowser fight small. 5 jumps if WindFox can survive. That's 1. WindFox near that door. That's 2 jumps. That's 3. Sharky into the Bowser room. It's 4 jumps. 1 more. Needs to not get stomped on. WindFox has done it. WindFox is going to get through that door and going to force a game 3. Official race time in a moment. As we see Sharky in the Bowser fight small. Official race time is 36 minutes, 32 seconds on WindFox's side. Sharky presumably going to finish this one out. And he does it as well. Official race time for him in a moment. Looks like it'll be about 37 minutes or so. Through the door. Official time is 37 minutes flat. GG's to both runners. Quick break as we get set up for the next match. We'll be right back. And welcome back. I am once again William in Texas, and this is the decider for round 1 of our Mario 3 Randomizer Challenge Cup. WindFox and Sharky, the 9th and 8th seeded players, I've already sent them on their way. Best of 3, this is game 3. Warner moves on to round 2. They will be facing me, actually, just as soon as we figure out when. It was a really close game. They were both in Bowser's Castle. They were pretty close last night as well in game 1. What world do you think we're going to see for our first world? I'm going to say World 6 again. World 6 was left out last time. Give us World a little love here. Here we go, World 7 again. Both seeds. Promised Land nice and quick this time. Nice for WindFox. And I hope that 2F is going to be the bridge builder. I do see a lock on the first island. Reminder on these round 1 flags. Oh, WindFox taking damage on these ceiling spikes that you can't see. Sharky finds a hand level. All 3 hands will have the same item that is randomized. And number 1 for Sharky, the bro hand. WindFox beating Boom Boom. Those hit points are randomized, and it's an anchor for Sharky. And that is the answer for WindFox, an early advantage for him. Anchors are a random item. They can be anything except a hammer or a warp whistle, which are disabled on these settings. Sharky gonna find the coin ship now. Gonna play that. WindFox into 1.6 beta. WindFox did collect another fire flower from Toad. Toad houses stay on these settings. You can visit as many times as you want. Didn't catch what the item was there on Sharky's side. Maybe somebody could let me know what the item was. That was a box. Okay, thank you. 2 runners, sometimes you don't catch everything. Sharky taking some damage on, not sure what level that is, actually. WindFox in one of our water levels. Sharky's found everything except the answer. The good news is he's picking up items. The bad news is this is actually a very quick world, and he has not found the answer. Gonna backtrack now, back to the beginning, gonna take the other pipe. Oh no, he's not! He's gonna play the other forward! No, no, Sharky! Sharky playing 6-1. And then gonna play that forward. 6-1 with the bass. WindFox in a piranha level with the sun. The WindFox about to find an item. Sharky at least gets through 6-1 in one piece. Mushroom for WindFox. WindFox gonna put that to use right away. Gatekeeper for Sharky. From bad to worse. Not only does he play the wrong forward, it is, I believe, the slowest one in the game. Escalator forward also pretty slow, especially if you don't damage boost. World 2 airship for WindFox. No tail. So no fly strat. And he faces Ludwig, who has quite the vertical. And he takes the death to the wands. And to star, which It won't help him with the Ludwig fight, but it will at least get him through these bullet bills in one piece. Sharky with a star. I think he grabbed it too soon, though. I don't know that he's going to get the star kill. It's going to run out. It has run out. His time may be running out, unfortunately, the way the routing's gone so far. It wouldn't be so bad if he would have found a hammer, but that's not what's happened. Instead, he's going to break the wrong lock. And he sees the pipe loop around, decides not to play the Piranha level. WindFox through World 1, almost 5 minutes on the clock. That's the Bowser letter. We'll have to wait until he checks his inventory. Sharky goes through the first pipe, finds the Promised Lands. Gonna be kicking himself. He's gonna know that this is the answer to build that bridge. Never a good feeling to know that you just wasted 4 minutes. 5-free beta for WindFox. No, that's not the power-up. That's the other block. That's the one at the beginning. So with Gatekeeper, we saw the star run out on Sharky. What you have to do is, if you're going to go in that power-up room and grab the star, and you're not small, you need to like go out of the room, come back in, take a brief pause, grab the star, then run for it. Then you get the star kill in time. You are flirting with running out of the P-switch. Only way to do it big, though, if you're small, you don't have to wait for the spikes or anything, so not so bad. Sharky finally into 1-6 beta. WindFox doing some pipe checks. And we see the triple forwarder. I see 2 locks. He's going to play Fort Knox as a small Luigi, or a small Mario. He's not Luigi, he's Mario. He's using the reins of power, which threw me. I saw green. WindFox is going to hope that there's a leaf as he's going to go into the room a second time. In vanilla, that's always a fire flower. This is now randomized, and it's a fire flower, which means WindFox is going to have to go back to the first area and put the Tanuki suit on. It's a very slow Fort Knox. And it may not even be required. WindFox might have been better served checking the other pipes just in case that castle were somehow open. Exactly, Fort 1, 2, or 3. Of course, only 2 of those forts are within our reach at the moment. And I don't think that lock that he broke was useful when he gets Piranha for it. They did pair up this time. WindFox shorting that jump. Uses one of his 2 fire flowers. Sharky in the airship. Sharky losing that WindFox rather, losing that fire flower. Gonna thread the needle here, does take damage from the thwomp. He was trying to avoid that, but also standing far enough away that Piranha wouldn't, the fireballs from the Piranha wouldn't spawn. Sharky finally through World 7. 8 minutes, 45 seconds. Sharky plus 4 minutes at the moment. Could make up some time, though, if Fort Knox goes quicker. Or if he doesn't play Fort Knox at all, which is probably not required. See if the 50-50 goes his way, but first he'll have to play a level. Free beta for him. WindFox third piranha fort. Breaks the lock that we don't see, which means that the castle should be open. He just has to find the pipe. He has found the pipe. One power up decides to save it. He gets the World 1 airship. And it's Wendy. Is this thing even randomized? We promised we randomized the Koopalings. Sharky gonna start pipe checking. Does not find the answer. See if he wins the 50-50. Gonna check the pipe. He's gonna see the lock there. No hammer. What's WindFox going to get from this letter? We don't see yet. Oh, Sharky losing the 50-50 as well, going to see Fort Knox. World 5, our next world, I believe, is 1-4. First level. Sharky taking the intentional death. Gonna put on the tail. So this will be a faster Fort Knox for Sharky. Not as much time saved as if he would have gone straight for Piranha Fort. But it's better than nothing, and WindFox on to the next level. That is, I believe, 2-5. It's either 2-4 or 2-5. I can never remember which is which. I don't play nearly enough vanilla. Sharky breaking the useless lock. Sharky discovering Piranha Fort, and I'm sure just loving his life. And this is Paradox Pipe, so I'm not going to have to play the Twisty Castle. WindFox checking inventory, not going to go for it. Playing, I believe, 5... 6. I want to, 5-8. No, 5-6. I don't know. I'm guessing it's World 5. The joke with me is everything's 5-4. Sharky taking a spill on the 2J jump. Are not going to protect him from the lava. Throwing on the mushroom. WindFox gonna take a bro fight before he goes to the sky. That's another music box. Sharky's got fire. WindFox finding a hammer. Now we have a bridge out and a lock, so nothing's going to be required fort-wise. We've already had the triple forter. High Force Soul Reaper for WindFox. Oh, he gets spun. He gets reaped. So is it all randomized? Yeah, basically everything's randomized. Our world's order, our levels, our enemy sets, power-ups, Koopalings, fortresses, airships, bullet bill type. It's a very dangerous jump by WindFox. Sharky getting through Piranha Fort. See a plant there. That's the best place for a fire nipper, just straight down into the hole. Sharky did not see the lock break, which means that he did find the answer, and so he's into the World 1 airship. Also, in these settings, we are only playing 7 worlds, so one of the first 7 worlds will be randomly removed. To this point, we've seen worlds 3, 5, and 7. Sharky in the Wendy fight. It's a Heavy Wendy, 4 hits. Not a particularly good item for WindFox there. I think that was a star if I haven't already forgotten. World 6 level for WindFox. I think this is 6-8. Sharky in the same world now. Five 3 actual now. The other thing we've done is we've added levels. So all the beta levels are included, as well as all the vanilla levels. So there are some levels and spots that you wouldn't see in the vanilla game. If you were to 100% one of these seeds, you would see every vanilla level and every beta level. Another clean level for Sharky. That's what he needs now to get back in this. He needs lots of clean levels. Sharky gonna grab a power-up from Toad. Which one will it be? Toad houses are also shuffled. It's a Fire Flower. In vanilla, that would be a Tanuki. Sharky through Paradox Pipe. Sharky gonna play this level. WindFox on the way out of the Sky World. World 7 airship. Sharky playing the bro with a hammer. At least he won't be down a hammer. Not that we've had a good spot to use one yet. Music box for Sharky, WindFox. Through that airship, and we'll see what the item is. We'll see what the next world is. I'm going to say World 1. Let's get all the odd worlds. It's a frog. No, it's World 4. Right, beta. Chris the Joy, good to see you. One of our very frequent commentators in the 3R community. You found your way to the deciding Game 3 of this Round 1 Challenge Cup matchup. WindFox and Sharky battling for the right to move on to Round 2, where they will face me, William in Texas. Sharky grabs the star. Sharky still has to play 2 levels and the airship just to get to the same world, so 3 levels and an airship the gap right now. WindFox going for the star. Gets the Giant Bros and gets a P-Wing. And WindFox is going to use that P-Wing in 4-2, it appears to be. Sharky puts on a hammer suit. Was that the anchor? Were anchors hammer suits? Let's see if Sharky holds on to this for a while. And in Randomizer, hammer suits, or hammers rather, can harm Koopalings. They cannot do that in the vanilla game. That Sharky kind of wishes you were playing a fort next. Hammer suit, exceptionally useful in a fort. It can kill Blue, it can kill Thwomp, and Shark is going to take the damage. Kills the Potaboos, as well as the Boom Booms. That's the next quickest way to kill a Boom Boom after the star. And of course, you also use them in defeating Bowser. But you know what? Sharky will at least have the knowledge of what the anchor is if he should find another one, which, you got that from a hand. Hands are anchors. All three hands will always have the same item because the exit room is the same room. WindFox getting a mushroom for his trouble going through a coin ship. And gonna take a fort. Hopefully he's on the right end of a 50-50. Gonna go for some Dunkin' Donuts here. Donut Fort. I was just the other day, I was talking to somebody who has lived somewhere where there's Dunkin' Donuts for a very long time and yet did not know what a munchkin is. Munchkin, for those who don't know, that's the donut hole treat at Dunkin' Donuts. Like, how do you live your life and not discover what a munchkin is? WindFox taking the other coin ship. And that is appealing. That was not your mom. As far as I know, I've never met your mom. Escalator Fort for WindFox. Donut Fort was not the answer. See if the 50-50 is any kinder to Sharky. Yeah, the donuts are pretty good too. The big donuts. I'm a donut guy. WindFox beating the Boom Boom. And bridge gets built. World 5 airship. Sharky wants the Fire Flower. Stunlock does not cause a catastrophe. One hitter right, it's a lightweight. I see a little WindFox cheering section forming. I'm not so familiar with WindFox. Does he come from the Zelda world? I know we got a bunch of Zelda runners here. I see a Zelda or a Link. I don't know who that is. Emote. And I see World 6 for the first time this evening. I have to admit, I've never actually touched the Zelda franchise. And WindFox getting another music box. Shadbird's a Z2 player. How about WindFox, though? I don't know WindFox at all. And Sharky, I played with in League. Oh, and this is a quick World 6. Did he hammer that rock? Is that where he used the hammer? We've been waiting for a good use for that hammer for a while now. Is that a God Pipe? It's a one-hit Iggy. No chance to get hitboxed. And Malevolent, I wouldn't know. Like, I don't know the community. I don't know the game. Okay, yeah. WindFox is a Zelda runner. Okay, so we have Worlds 1 and 2 left. Which one are we going to see? Which one's going to be left out? King Slayer, and it's going to be World 1. Oh my. It never fails. You use a hammer, and then, like, I really wish I had a hammer, like, immediately after. Sharky finally getting to the World 4 airship, which is the 5 airship. They'll also have a hammer. So the gap is not quite as drastic as it appears. WindFox getting the 3rd star for the fans. A hammer here would have saved at least 2 levels, potentially 2 levels in a fort. 3-7 for WindFox. See if WindFox goes for the item. I think WindFox a little bit more worried about just not getting eaten by this bass. And instead runs into the Goomba. We get a pipe check for Sharky. Takes the slide down. He's gonna fight the bro. I see what's going on. That's yeah, so you do break the rock, and that is a god pipe. Sharky getting the music box. This late in the seed, you could consider boxing to save some time. And if you're Sharky, you have to be feeling behind. For those who might be joining us late, this seed started with Sharky spending 4 minutes in the first world that he didn't have to. So there were 2 pipes at the beginning, and one of them took you to the Promised Land and the Answer Fort, and the other one took you nowhere useful, and just kept you teased enough to keep exploring, and that's the one Sharky took. So that's how WindFox got out to the lead. Salutes in the chat. One of the branches of the military, I was not looking. I was looking at the other side. One fight for WindFox as Sharky gets to the airship. Very, very cheap ice world. It's also the importance of bros, though, of at least looking for a hammer when you have World 6 ahead of you. That hammer was the difference between an essentially free World 6 and potentially a very, very long World 6. And now we get 1-3, another item level. It is a bit slower to get the item. This late in the seed, you don't have to do that. And the item's in a toad house, so I don't believe it can be a hammer. WindFox is going to go for the item. Sharky into the same world. Oh no, WindFox has a hammer. I must have missed another hammer there, like perhaps a Bowser item? Perhaps a Peach item, rather? See if the hammer ends up being useful in World 8. It would have been on the last seed. Sharky sitting there. Sharky thinking about the hammer. Sharky realizing that the hammer is actually useless there. Good call by Sharky. I'm looking at the map along with him, and the bottom block is in a position to where that first fort has to break it. So that hammer would only save you the 1 level. You could access that 1 fort a little bit quicker. WindFox taking some damage. Sharky getting another star. Lots of 5-ups for Sharky tonight. If only we gave points for finishing with a bunch of lives. And Morton will be our last Koopaling of this deciding seed, and it's a 2-hitter. So as we head to World 8, how many obstacles, how many bridges, how many locks, how many levels? Last time it was one of each. We had a fort, a bridge, and a lock. I'm going to say 2 levels, a lock, and a bridge. Mushroom from that letter. Super tank for Sharky now. 3F1 for WindFox. 4-3. Nope. Power up check. He's going to try and give his flower. It's very tricky to get it without taking a spill. Keeping from the right side is quite hard. WindFox abandons that. And just head for the boom boom fight. Remember, they'll both have a hammer for World 8. Sharky taking the death to the Spiny. Okay, that is Air Force Icon down. 2 locks right away. This dramatically increases the chance of a free Bowser. Only 1 more potential lock or bridge available. Since oh, and there's the lock, so it is open. We just have to find it. And there's no pipes up here. You do have a hammer. You could risk a hammer. Know where all the locks are. There's a pipe. See if that's the answer. And bridge. That's the elbow. So I think we've seen all the pipes on the first screen. If we have seen all the pipes on the first screen, it has to be upper left. WindFox finds the fake tank. Now you have a hammer. If this is upper left, we don't actually need to play any forts. He's going to play the real tank. This is an unnecessary fort on Wind's part. We know where all the locks are. We know where the answer has to be. If you go to where the 2 locks were next to you on the pipe, if you use a hammer, the order is up, down, left, right. So the pipe above him is the one that would break. And the hammer, the lock above him is the one that would break. Which is the one that you would want to break, and that would be the way to a free Bowser. As we have Sharky about to enter the airship, this gap is going to close up potentially. We could have some equalization just based on routing. WindFox gonna play the carpet fort now. Another completely unnecessary fort, I believe. The move was to hammer that lock. See what Sharky does. WindFox taking the death to the Hotfoot. There's no pipe there. WindFox now going to go back. Perhaps realizing that he can hammer this lock. We know where everything else is. No, he hasn't realized that, unfortunately. The answer has to be above that lock. There's nowhere else it could be. We've seen the rest of the map. That's a level. Sharky through the fort. Sharky gonna do some pipe checks now. WindFox gonna check that third pipe. Know where that goes. I think WindFox is lost. I think that's what's happening. That's what's happening here. Sharky finds the elbow. See if Sharky decides to risk a hammer. This is now anybody's game. No, Sharky! Sharky just used the hammer in a way that is not going to benefit him. See if WindFox can put it together. He does! WindFox uses the hammer in the correct spot. Whatever chance Sharky had may have just evaporated. Now he sees this, I think he's going to realize, and one level. One level, and maybe there was a lock. We'll never know. We don't know what that first screen did. It broke a lock, but we don't know where that lock is. So, WindFox not that far away from facing Bowser. WindFox getting the 5 up. WindFox gonna put on the hammer suit. WindFox's big chance here to take the reverse sweep. Auto rest did him some good. Was feeling a bit worn out after yesterday's game 1. They decided to reschedule. WindFox came back very strong on a close game 2. Firmly in control of game 3 this entire way. Sharky now going to play this fort. Gets through the statue room clean. That may be the most satisfying sound in the game, that burp when you kill Bowser with the hammer. And with that, WindFox gonna take game 3. WindFox going to secure his spot in round 2 of our Challenge Cup. GG to WindFox. And we'll see if we can get the runners in here. Sharky's still going. Now sees the pipe and he goes. Hello, WindFox. GG.
Oh my god, how did I do that?
Yeah, that was really something there. That first seed, you were both in Bowser's Castle, as I'm sure you saw with the margin of victory there.
Yeah.
The second seed wasn't in a lot of doubt until World 8. Sharky did have couldn't seize on it, where if he had hammered that answer lock right away, like he could have been in business, but that's not how that went down. So here you are on to round number 2. Any thoughts about this seed?
You know, I don't know. I didn't expect to even win this best of 3. I'm gonna be honest. I had no expectations of winning. This entire round was a blur. I felt bad about last night having to not be able to play because I was so tired, and like in a way I kind of feel bad winning, but I know Sharky didn't want to take the win, you know, playing someone who mentally wasn't capable of playing.
We love the sportsmanship. I gotta applaud Sharky for that as well. But yeah, Little Russ did you some good here, and you never know what can happen. That's why we play the games. I'll tell you what, there was a practice seed yesterday, or maybe the night before, where Sharky beat me. And if he can beat me, if he can beat me, and you can beat Sharky, that means you can potentially beat me when we do our round 2 game. which I'll be in touch with you about that on Discord after the show.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Sharky
definitely.
takes the death. Shorts that jump. Let's cheer him on, though, as he tries to finish this out. Yeah, so the way this seed went, you were in good shape from the first world. So there were the 2 pipes on that first island in World 7.
Mm-hmm.
And you took the one that went to the Promised Land. Sharky took the other pipe.
Oh no.
And he ended up playing some levels, and he ended up playing the wrong fort. And he did grab some items, but they weren't like hammers or anything.
Yeah.
So that was an unfortunate time sink, and he was chipping away at you, but you did have the lead there. So anything you think went particularly right or wrong with this evening's action?
Really, the second seed, I just made the random decision in World 6, the Ice World, to hammer the rock to get to that pipe. Like that's just something that I've kind of picked up playing the finals and main tournament flag set, is hammering that rock more often than normal. Because I couldn't see the pipe on the other end. I couldn't see it on the screen, so it had to be on the back half of the world. It was just, was it locked behind the fortress that was 1 tile away? And I gambled, just hammering that rock, and it paid out.
Yeah, ideally you at least get a screen scroll to see if the pipe's like right there and does nothing. But yeah, you're also running out of places to use a hammer. So there's that, which next week we'll still have the hammers breaking locks. They're still potentially useful in World 8.
Yes.
And there's definitely plenty of times where you use a hammer and then the very next world you're thinking, I really wish I had a hammer.
Yeah. So I can almost guarantee that there were people watching when I was there in World 8 on the second seed here, where you saw me constantly just checking all the pipes and not actually doing levels or fortresses. When I busted the one lock that was in the bottom left corner with that pipe that was locked by 2 locks, when I saw the lock that busted that one open, and I had seen every pipe except the valley, I knew the valley had to be in the northwest corner, so I knew I was safe to hammer that northwest corner.
Exactly. I figured. We figured you're getting a little bit crossed up trying the pipe, but yeah, you did correctly put that together. That the answer had to be in that corner where you found it, and then you did break the correct lock. For anyone who doesn't know, if you have 2 locks that are potentially breakable, or 2 anythings that are potentially breakable, it goes up, down, left, right. So that upper lock, that's the one that's going to break there, and that is the lock that you want to break. And yeah, when you roll out the rest of the map, that's the one to go. Unfortunately, Sharky didn't break that lock. He broke the one on the middle of Dark World.
Oh, in the middle of the map.
He did that blind. He didn't have knowledge of what was up there. Sharky flirting with a very silly death here. I think he's just memeing us here. He's gonna fly to the right spot. GG to Sharky, who is going to finish with a 42:42 official race time. GG to Sharky. I'll press the button and hopefully perhaps we get Sharky in here as well to give us some thoughts. So in the meantime, what are your thoughts as we go into round number 2 of this Challenge Cup?
I just want to get it to a game 3 against you. Like, I know you are a better player than me. I'm not. Like, I know you're better than me. I'm gonna practice my ass off over this next week, and just hope I can get to a game 3. That's all I want, is a game 3.
Yeah, you got to put the practice in. I got to put the practice in too. Like, I make silly mistakes too. Hello, Sharky. GG. Sorry that didn't work out for you this evening.
Yeah, I threw game 2 away. I had an extra cloud, and I got too many fanfares. So it all adds up. It's like, well, I threw that game away.
Yeah.
In game 3, the pipeline, well, going to the pipe farther away did not work. It hindered me.
Yeah, Pipelands was a bit tricky, and there's 2 schools of thought as to how to explore Pipeland. Like, do you go through one pipe and then just explore all the way down, or do you very quickly come back and check the other pipe in case that's the promised land? But like, there's always just enough in front of you to think this is useful. Like, you see a fort, well, this is maybe the answer for it, and then it isn't. And then you spend extra time there, and that's how rando is.
Yeah, I wasted that hammer. If I would have used a hammer in that bottom left corner, I think I would have had to answer quicker, and I could have won at that point.
If you had hammered the correct lock, then yes, that would have given you a shot. It would have come down to execution. Would probably be another really close one. You were both in the castle the last time, and it probably would have gone something like that this time as well. Yeah, that was the answer lock to break. That's how it is sometimes. You wouldn't have had knowledge of that upper section, that upper middle section. The answer pipe could have been there. And it just wasn't this time, unfortunately.
Yeah, I knew from the first world I was way behind. So like, okay, I explored too many levels, wasted all this time. Like, I'm behind right now.
Yeah, you got to take some swings at it. I get you.
Yep. It was a gamble that did not work out in my favor. Unfortunate, but that's how rando is.
Yeah, I respect the Hail Mary play for sure. Any thoughts though about your tournament and this Challenge Cup run as a whole?
Well, it was pretty much fun. So at least I got a few more wins than I did last year. So there's that. So I'm happy to improve.
Yeah,
even though if I would have made it to round 2, it would have been over then anyway, because I knew I'd be disadvantaged.
Didn't you just beat me last night in the practice seed?
I didn't play in the practice, so.
Or was it the night before? You definitely beat me recently. Unless I'm completely tripping.
Because I usually play it. Yeah, because we faced 9 times when I last looked. 8 of them were in the league.
Like we played a bunch in the league. Like we had some practice seats on Discord recently.
Yeah, I joined the call last night, but I didn't play in the seeds. I just watched.
I may be tripping then. I could have sworn you'd beaten me, but yeah, anything's possible though. And glad you had fun this season, and sure we'll see you back, and even better next time around.
Yep, hopefully I'll be able to join the league. So, as it's a Tanuki. Gotta keep the Tanukis going.
Well, Tanukis are just future fire flowers.
And if we had a lot more people, it's gonna be pretty much all fun. So.
Yeah, can't wait for that to fire up again. Be sure and join the SMB3R Discord if you're watching and you're interested in getting involved in the community. I've just posted the info in Slack. Not Slack, in Twitch. I have work on my brain. I'm saying Slack. It's Sunday night and I have work on my brain. What's wrong with me? Also, be sure and give our runners a follow. I've just posted those links there in the Twitch chat. And as well as myself, William in Texas. Any closing thoughts as we wrap up this evening's activities?
Well, GG's, WindFox. Good luck next week. And, of course, good luck to William next week, too. So that's going to be an interesting match, I think. So.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm beatable there. I think I'm beatable there. Chat isn't Sharky or Fox. Like, I'm playing WindFox next week or whenever we schedule. I have both links in the chat if you're looking for following either WindFox or Sharky. And yeah, both great runners, and can't wait to face both of you guys in the future. Any other closing thoughts?
Thanks for the commentary. Thanks, Speed Gaming and everybody behind the scenes on that. And of course, shout outs to SMB3 rando for, you know, throwing the game on last night. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much about it. So,
Yeah,
Thank
GG's to you, Sharky.
WindFox.
Thanks for, letting us do game 2 and game 3 tonight after last night. I appreciate that a lot.
no problem. Like, 'cause I just don't like, you know, getting a free win. So, like, you know, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
If I could reschedule, I'll reschedule.
Love the
Yeah.
sportsmanship there as well, I gotta say.
Yeah, GG's. William, I'll be looking forward to seeing you in the next round.
Yeah,
can't
look
wait.
forward to it. And on that note, like it is late. I'm losing my mind. So let's close things out before I really slip up here. Thank you so much to our tournament organizers. Thank you so much to Speed Gaming and the crew there getting us on the air each and every time we do this. Thank you to all of you in the chat who are still watching and listening to me ramble after all this time. We really appreciate that. And thank you to our runners, WindFox and Sharky. Give them both a follow. And on that note, on behalf of everyone, I'm William in Texas. Thank you so much for watching. Well, let me actually plug. Let me plug the next stuff. I forgot. I can't even close out right. Maybe I'm the one who needs to reschedule. Okay, so tomorrow, busy slate of action. 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Tazzle and Yokubody on Speed Gaming, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. 6 p.m. we have Stewie Cartman and Shy Guy on Speed Gaming. Also, High Flyer and Animus United on Speed Gaming 3. That's the bracket side of things. Also, 4 p.m. tomorrow, we've got Andy and Nux on Speed Gaming 2 on the Challenge Cup side. Now I promise I'm done. On behalf of everyone, I'm William in Texas. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.
Have a good night, and don't let the boss pass bite.
Darn right.